Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Fronti.
Welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHCS, where every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. we get to share with you all kinds of great information about the real estate market, interest rates, the stock market, your community, financial planning, college planning, estate planning, you name it, we got it. We've been doing that for over 5 years now, Gino.
You know, I'd love to say that in the last 5 years of doing the radio show, I have no regrets, Don, but that's not true. I do regret one thing. I really do, and maybe someday we'll invest in this, but I really wish we had our blooper reel.
Oh, there'd be a lot of those.
There'd be so many. It'd be like a 17-hour video.
Well, how hard could it be? We can go back to any show.
That's true.
It wouldn't be that hard after, let's see, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of shows. We got a lot of bloopers in there, without a doubt. Because basically, we just record this and share it with you. This is real. This is not, we're not.
It's not scripted.
It's not an infomercial. We share with you what's really happening each week within our community. In fact, speaking of our community, again, we mentioned it last segment, but please join us tonight. Go to BeTheLight5K.org and sign up for this great event tonight. It's going to be from just 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., so you're done with all the kids' sporting events and all that good stuff. It'll be a lot cooler. Plus, we got a glow-in-the-dark goodies galore. It's going to be a fun event. Again, BeTheLight5K.org. Sign up under the Skyline Home Loan Team, and you get 25% off.
And, of course, all the money goes to a good cause.
Yes. And it's going to help our challenged teens. There's plenty of those.
Which we need that. We talk about that all the time where, you know, we don't want to be in denial here in Valencia and say that our teens don't have problems. All teens have problems. The reality is it's a difficult time in a person's life is when they're trying to figure out who they are.
Well, come join the Skyline team again tonight. Go to BeTheLight5K.org. Sign up on the Skyline team. We'd love you to join us. It'll be a great event. Bring your friends. Bring the family. Make it a fun event. We'll give you.
I know we're definitely bringing our whole army.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we talked about good news, right? You know, Los Angeles is growing. Things are good. Real estate is good. We've been talking a lot about it on the National Real Estate Cafe. Right. Yep, just been plugging right along. So,
that means there's a bubble coming, right?
Oh yeah, next week.
Yeah,
you didn't hear
some of the, since it's been so strong for so long, it's got to come any day now.
It's funny this bubble talk, right? Because at the end of the day, everything is a bubble, right? Everything is cyclical, right? Stock market's cyclical, real estate's cyclical. Any investment is pretty much cyclical. Economies are cyclical. And so ultimately, there's always a bubble forming. The question is, how big is it and how bad is it when it bursts? So the reality is, and where are we in the cycle, right? And I think that's what's been really difficult about this particular recovery is that where we are in the cycle isn't that clear, right? Because maybe real estate's doing well, but oil's in the dumps. And so
GDP's down.
GDP's down because durable goods suck. So, you know, so where are we in this recovery? Well, real estate's actually the highlight. So it's funny that
it's creating jobs.
Absolutely. 30% of our GDP is always based on real estate. So the one thing we were looking at with Don is existing home sales.
Right.
We're using this as one metric to see if we're in a bubble. And Don, we have some pretty interesting numbers here. So if you wanted to give us an idea where we are today.
The media jumps. We always kind of pick on the media only because they like sensationalize any report. So they talk about the report saying, okay, existing home sales are up. Values are going up faster than ever and so forth. But believe it or not, our existing home sales in the millions, meaning the sheer volume of home sales, believe it or not, we're just catching up. We're not near the peak. We're only catching up to 2002, 2003 levels.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So in 2014, we leveled what 1999 was. And I bought my first property in 2002. And I remember when I bought that property, the advice I heard from everybody was, don't buy, everything's overinflated, it can't go any higher.
Yeah, we heard that for another, 5 years?
That's what I'm telling you. So I very much feel like we're just maybe past that point right now. We're in the 2002, 2003 era, if we were to look at the last cycle and say that's where we were.
Well, it's the same thing with appreciation levels. We don't have that chart there, but I know our appreciation levels are just catching up to...
Our appreciation is much more tame this time around than it was then. I mean, back then we were talking...
up to, 2003, 2004 maybe?
Yeah, and we had some double-digit appreciation off the bottom, but then it's been pretty stable in the 5 to 8% range, right? Nationally averaging about 5.8%. So unless we start seeing double-digit appreciation again, this is a moderate recovery with a healthy real estate growth. And maybe this is actually what should have happened last time, but it just got deformed due to loose lending standards. And I'm
Yeah.
not even going to call it loose lending standards. It was ridiculous.
It was, and we saw the writing on the wall, unfortunately, and it's greed. Everybody got greedy. Everybody got too comfortable. A lot of speculation, which is basically a Ponzi scheme as far as we're concerned when it comes to who was willing to buy these loans and how they were selling the loans, how they were packaging the loans. That's where it all went down in a big heap.
We don't have any of that today.
No. Everybody, you actually qualify for a home, believe it or not. If you buy a home today, you actually qualify for it.
Yeah, and we have a tremendous amount of regulation trying to keep. I'm not saying there's no bad people in mortgage, just like any business there is, but the percentage is so much lower than it used to be.
Yes. And if you just tune in, you're here with the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. And again, you can always join us by going to donandgino.com. We have a live stream button with 3 HD cameras. We're waving at you now. Love you to come join us and check out our Facebook page, too.
Yeah, if you ever want to know when the next time to get out of real estate is, you measure it by the amount of Lamborghinis and Ferraris in the parking lot at a real estate office.
Right. Or a lending
Or a
office.
lending office. I remember,
There's none in front of ours.
There's none. There's none at all. But I remember, even if we had one, that'd be okay. At the old office I was at, it was like 17. It was like a car show every time I showed up to work. It was awesome.
Okay, so we know interest rates are low. You hear about it all the time. You see a lot of the commercials on that we're at lowest rates in history, yada, yada, yada. Okay, not all lenders are created the same. The reason we're going to bring that up is there's certain strategies based on, just like anything, with a financial planner, a college planner, an attorney, you want the best. So you're talking about the biggest asset or debt you have is your home. Why not go to an expert? And whether it's Skyline Home Loans or another great local lender that's going to give you advice, not just an interest rate, because every single day, we come up with strategies that are way better than just the lowest interest rate. Not that we're not competitive, but that's not how it works. It actually is a strategy. We just had somebody just now just buying a home, say I'm putting 10% down, and I have my friend who's done all my loans, and here's, I don't need a loan. I'm like, well, do me a favor. Can I look at those numbers and see if I can come up with anything else? I came up with 3, not exaggerating, I can show them to you, 3 strategies that were lower payment than what he already had. And it was substantial. It was $150 to $280 a month difference.
Yeah, and even if we had an interest rate that would have been an eighth better would have only probably saved $36, $42 a month.
Right.
So $150, that's where strategy completely outpaces just rate. And, rate also becomes less relevant over time. And I'll explain this as easy as I can. You only achieve the note rate if you make all 360 payments because of front-end loaded amortization. And we could do a 62-hour class on this. It's almost like I could do a three months of economics on this. But the reality is, because of the way amortization works, your true interest you pay in the first 5 years on almost any 30-year fixed is somewhere between 60 and 90% interest rate. Yep. That's what I thought. 60 to 90% interest rate in the first 5 years. So what's the difference in 1/8% between one of the major banks, a local lender, or any of these other people when in the first 5 years you're going to pay 60 to 90%? 1/8% means nothing to you. So it's all about the strategy.
All right. Speaking of strategies, so if you have mortgage insurance, because that helped you get in your home, good for you.
Awesome.
Also good, though, appreciation levels have gone up, and there's new strategies. So if you have mortgage insurance, you should be talking to, actually, reach out to us at SantaClaritaHomeLoan.com. SantaClaritaHomeLoan.com. All our professionals are there. Reach out to us, and we will strategize and show you a true cost analysis of what options are available for you to possibly lower your interest rate and pay less than you're paying now.
Yeah, and we'll look at short-term strategy and long-term strategy,
Or
depending
maybe debt consolidation.
Depending on your time horizon in the
Right.
home. Some people say that I'm only going to be there 5 or 7 years, or some people say I'm going to be there 10 years. And no, the ARM is not always the answer either, because we're in an inverse yield market right now as well, where sometimes a 30-year fixed is still a lower rate than a 5/1 ARM. So again, it's all about strategy.
Okay. Speaking of great strategies, part of our America's Professional Resource Group has the best professionals in all of Santa Clarita, and we're bringing one on next. You're not going to want to miss this next half of our show, because we're bringing Chris Ingram with Ingram Financial Solutions on. He always, trust us, always comes loaded with great information that's going to change your life and give you so much education. You go, wow, I'm glad I listened to that. I learned something again. We always learn something great from Chris Ingram with Ingram Financial Solutions. We'll be right back. You don't want to go away.